A pleasant day, everyone. I am Jessa Saga, and I am one of the presenters for the topic Global Culture, Westernization, and Americanization. My part is just a continuation of Miss Desiree Roquilio's part, where she talked about global culture and the advantages of Westernization. So today, I will be talking about the disadvantages of Westernization and Americanization. So let us have here the definition of Westernization. So it refers to the process where non-Western countries adopt Western culture, values, lifestyle, and even social systems. So this influence can be seen in different aspects of life, such as clothing, music, or even food. Moreover, Westernization often happens because of globalization, through the emergence of social media, or through movies. And while it can bring modernization and it can offer or it offers a lot of advantages, it can also influence local cultures negatively. So here's why. We have here the disadvantages of Westernization. We have first, loss of cultural identity. Second, cultural homogenization. Third, consumerism and materialism. And fourth is the dependence on Western influence. So these are just some of the disadvantages. So first, the loss of cultural identity. When Western culture becomes dominant in a specific country, the local traditions, languages, and costumes may slowly disappear. So let's say, for example, in the country Philippines, in our country, some young people prefer celebrating Western holidays like Halloween and Valentine's Day, and I am one of these young people. I love celebrating Valentine's Day or Halloween specials. So, some of us prefer celebrating those Western holidays rather than the traditional practices rather, like the local fiestas or the indigenous traditions. And even some of the Philippine importance or major holidays are also forgotten. So this may cause cultural heritage to be forgotten as well. And next, we have here the cultural homogenization. So it can cause cultures around the world to become similar. So this means that different cultures start. When we say Westernization, different cultures starts to become similar to each other, right? Because some countries or specific countries are adopting the culture of other countries, specifically the Western countries. So that causes it to, that their cultures might be similar to each other. Like for example, people from different countries may watch the same movie, the same music, they have the same fashion trends. So this reduces cultural diversity. We have the consumerism and materialism. So Western cultures often promotes consumer lifestyles where people focus heavily on buying luxury items. So this is really applicable to us Filipinos, right? So Western culture promotes um, this, where people are encouraged to buy products, focus on material things, luxury brands, or expensive clothes. So, with this, people may start believing that happiness or success depends on owning many luxury things than personal growth. And next, we have the dependence on Western influence. So countries may become overly independent on Western ideas, media, and products. So, for example, many depend on Western movies, music, fashion brands, and this dependence can sometimes limit the growth of local industries and creativity, since they are not allowing themselves to discover or to innovate new fashion brands, fashion trends, new movies, new music, because they're relying on other countries. They're relying on the cultures of the Western countries. That is why this limits their creativity and their growth as well. So next, we have here the effects of Americanization. We have the positive and the negative effect. So let us tackle first the positive effects of Americanization. We have here three. These are just some of the positive effects of Americanization. So first, the global cultural exchange. So this is because of globalization, right? So global cultural exchange allows people from different countries to share and experience culture through music. I mean, experience different cultures through music, media, or even movies. So this helps in understanding each culture better. So social media really plays an important role um, in this area. So next we have the access to entertainment and innovation. So, through American media and technology, people gain access to new forms of entertainment and innovation. Third, we have the economic opportunities. So, those international businesses like American companies, they create jobs and contribute to economic growth of many countries. So, next we have the negative effects of Americanization. First, we have here the decline of local traditions. Next, we have the cultural imitation instead of originality. So we are done tackling with the positive ones. We are moving forward to the negative ones. First is the decline of local traditions. So as what I've said earlier in the disadvantages of Westernization, most of us prefer the cultures of other countries rather than our own cultures. So that also this may lead to other countries' cultures may replace our own cultures. So local practices may be less popular when people, especially the young ones, focus on the foreign influences. Next, we have the cultural imitation instead of originality. So people imitate American culture, then developing their own or embracing their own. So the negative effects of Americanization is just the same as the disadvantages of the Westernization, and that also applies to its positive effects. So that ends my part. I hope that you learned something from my discussion. Thank you everyone for listening and have a good day.